Why the US has never captured Venezuela's president. What if I told you the United States has publicly accused a sitting president of being a narco-terrorist, placed a $15 million bounty on his head, and yet never arrested him? This is not a movie plot. This is Venezuela. Tonight, we break down how the US tried to capture Venezuela's president, why it failed, and what this tells us about modern power, sovereignty, and covert warfare. Part 1. Why Nicolas Maduro became a US target. After Hugo Chavez died in 2013, Nicolas Maduro inherited a country already under pressure. By the late 2010s, Venezuela's economy collapsed. Millions fled the country. Washington accused the regime of corruption, drug trafficking, and repression. In 2010, the United States Department of Justice made a shocking move. They indicted Nicolas Maduro, accusing him of leading a drug trafficking network working with Colombian guerrilla groups using cocaine as a weapon against the United States. This was unprecedented. The US does not normally indict sitting heads of state. Part 2. The bounty and the message. The US then offered $15 million for information, leading to Maduro's arrest. Millions more for top Venezuelan officials. This was more than symbolism. It sent a clear message: you are no longer protected by office. But there was one problem: Maduro never left Venezuela, and the US cannot legally arrest a president inside another sovereign country without war. Part 3. The failed capture plots. Despite public pressure, behind the scenes, things got messy. In 2020, a bizarre operation emerged, Operation Gideon. A group of ex-soldiers, mercenaries, and opposition figures attempted to infiltrate Venezuela by sea to capture or kill Maduro. This triggered an uprising. The plan collapsed almost immediately. Venezuelan forces intercepted the boats, arrested the attackers, captured two American citizens. The operation looked amateurish and Washington denied direct involvement, but the damage was done. Maduro used the incident to strengthen internal security, justify crackdowns, portray himself as a victim of US aggression. Part 4. How Maduro stays untouchable. So why hasn't the US captured him? 3 reasons. 1. He rarely travels. Maduro avoids countries that cooperate with US extradition. 2. He has powerful allies like Russia, China, Iran, and Cuba provide intelligence, security, and political cover. 3. Arresting him could trigger where any direct action inside Venezuela would violate international law and risk regional conflict. In modern geopolitics, capture is harder than assassination and far riskier. Part 5. Capturing the circle around him. Instead of Maduro, the US changed tactics. They targeted his relatives, military commanders, financial networks. Several Venezuelan officials were arrested abroad and extradited to the US. The strategy became isolate the leader by dismantling the system around him. But Maduro adapted. Power without arrest. Nicolas Maduro remains in power not because the US lacks military strength, but because modern power has limits. Capturing a president today isn't about force alone. It's about legitimacy, alliances, and global consequences. The story of Venezuela proves one thing: sometimes the most powerful country on earth cannot touch one man without shaking the world. If you want more deep dives into covert power, failed regime change, and global shadow wars, subscribe to the channel, because history doesn't always happen in public.